Oh my god, you know where you house guests? Like a like
Hotel?
an
What?
inn
An inn?
almost. Like
Yeah.
it's like a hotel, but it's like on the countryside, so it's not really a hotel. It's
Yeah, I
more
guess
like
it's an inn then. Tavern, inn.
it's,
Hostel?
it's like you're on the road and then you travel and then go
Motel?
see. It's like an inn, I guess. It's like a guest house.
Gasthuis? But yeah, no, so go on. So you're all from the same county and there was like this inn somewhere?
Yeah, and they took it over in 1880, and then those two persons, like that's my it's a great. How do I translate? It's like great I think grandfather. I think.
Yeah, because it's every great adds a generation. So it's your grandfather two generations up.
I think so. His wife, which is my whatever great
Grandmother.
grandmother. I can apparently someone has already done the tracing because I'm just gonna latch onto whatever someone else has done. Apparently, I can go four generations more into like the 1600s, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, really?
And everyone lives like fucking super long. Like everyone's like, if you don't reach 70 or 60, you're fucking
You're a
get
fucking
out.
noob.
Yeah,
Get fucked.
yeah. My what's it called? My great grandfather lived to 90, 1948,
Yeah,
and
I'm happy to say that longevity also runs in my family on both sides.
yeah.
Like I think my I think he's like my great uncle who I resemble the most in like physical appearance. He lived to like 98 or something like that. It's like, and that was in a significantly different time in a significantly different country. So I consider that even more impressive.
Yeah,
That wasn't in like a super healthcare country.
yeah, that's what I mean. Because like 1628 is like that's like India hasn't even seen Europeans, if you know what I mean. Basically, like
Let's see. So is there like a site that you can do to trace it? Because I do know, but it's like I only know one or two generations back from like my mother's side and my father's side. I know that they come from the Hindustan uh like priest chaste, if you know what I mean, like the religious chaste.
I like it has just been fucking Google, and I use the Swedish State Archive.
All right.
But this site, this guy, because like not everything is digitalized. So like if it's really weird because like if I get into like between 1770 and 1860, it's very easy. But I have to like because they took over the farm in 1880,
Mm-hmm.
and they so like I didn't know when he was
I
born and
wonder if
so
they'll
on. But
find
like
me.
because I was able to find someone who has already done the research, and he actually this is like yeah, I guess on my great great grandfather, he or she is actually interested in someone else, but they was very kind to like put it down the information they gathered so I could actually like find out and basically complete the puzzle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And there's actually like there's a lot of like, for instance, like the first year I had to go on that the year was wrong. Like it said she was born in 1858, not 1855, and lots of shit like that. So it's good thing I'm a historian now, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So you can provide all that context to this. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be too useful for me though, because
Probably not, but
yeah, no, I just know anecdotal. Like my mother's my mother's father's side is like minor German aristocracy, right? They owned several farms, which I think burned down or something like that. Something really tragic happened to those until they only owned one farm. And the name, their last name changed from Kortman with two N's to Kortman with one N. So that's also a thing to take into consideration, because they Dutchified.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this, the Icelandic tradition of taking like your father's name and calling yourself son.
Yeah.
So I'd be Jansson.
Fuck.
Yeah, you could follow that tradition. Apparently, they did that until
Jansson.
they literally did that until my great grandfather, and then he took that last name of the farm he was from, and it's like, oh man, that's probably like it's like that last name probably goes back way further. It's like no, actually, it literally is from him that made that name, and it's because he's from that farm. Österberget, which is like east in the hills or east
Yeah.
in the mountains.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, that's really cool because Österberget, I could go visit that if I wanted to. And I'm gonna be as fucking like my dad is gonna be like, well, you could have fucking asked. I already know this shit.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of fun figure out on your own, I suppose.
Oh yeah. I just have to like, because both my parents know a lot about their lineage, that I just don't have the interest to know, shall we say?
No, I really didn't care, but then I was like, it's sort of like this is really boring. Someone else telling you this, but it's like if you can actually
figure it out, yeah.
It's like you can just figure it out on your own. Like spend as much time as you want, and you're just sort of like, I'll spend some time. Might as well figure how far back can you go.
Yeah.
Game, and then you're like get fucking sucked in. Because it's like people say, oh, your great grandfather was pretty rich. He owned like this place and it's a really nice house as well.
Mm-hmm.
In Sweden, the place it looks very fancy for its age, but I don't know anything else about it. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The only thing I know is that like because there's no real like in the Indian part of my family, right? There is no real nobility doesn't work the same way, if you know what I mean. So there's no real like nobility. It's just like you're in like a chase, and it's like the priest chase. Is the chase that comes from. So that there's not really that much interesting stuff happening there. But on my mother's side, it's a Spanish royal family, or not royal family, but noble family that went from Spain to the Netherlands, if you know what I mean. And a German, like, minor, I think it's like the lowest landholding title you can get. I forgot what it's called. Because he just owns several farms. But yeah, so that's pretty much as far as I know.
It's like I haven't really the Norwegian side of my family, like my mother's family. It's sort of like I think that's harder because here it's like they were. I'm not pretty sure, but I think they were farmers, but they weren't like the farm was like it's hard to know. It's really hard. Like if you have like a farm, it's really easy to trace it because usually like it goes from son to father, etc.
Yeah.
But if you're sort of like a tailor or whatever, it's like it's a bit more difficult because then you have to like hope they stay in the same place a long time.
Yeah.
Which doesn't usually happen. So I don't know. I haven't really looked at it. So. And also the Norwegian archives. I don't know. Like I tried they were like less intuitive than the Swedish one, which. Considering like I don't really know Swedish that well, it's like
that's similar enough, right?
Yeah, but it's like a lot of like it's not really about the language, it's the culture. So like what the fuck does it mean that like you're a hemägare? I don't know what the fuck it's like a homeowner, but what does it actually mean to be a homeowner? So.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm still eating my food.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, like I'm gonna let's actually look at that genealogy site because unfortunately, like like I have no idea who the hell would like it would only be if GNet had access to government records, if you know what I mean. So if they had access to like the passports or whatever identification
yeah.
papers of
I
the
mean, you're very reliant on someone else doing the work before you, or like having to like, where per chance archive
yeah, that's what
everything.
historians do. They just copy pasta like you know, so the work of other historians into their new work, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, what historians do is that it's kind of interesting. Is I'm doing the same thing now. It's like we have someone who's written something about something, and you see that history. It's like, okay, I'm gonna find out how they figured out that history. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it's
And then
just
you do the
another
same thing.
source.
So you don't really. It's like you're surprisingly close in a way. Well, I suppose like some people actually do write like from the ground up, but
Yeah, you
just
can only write about like contemporary things. Like you could write, for example, about you know Oslo today, and then there you go. That's your original source. And then maybe in like 100 years somebody will care.
Oh, actually, it's actually funny because it's really like funny when someone makes a snapshot. It's like, oh, why did he make a snapshot? It's completely useless. Surely everyone will know everything, and it is like a snapshot from 1906. That is literally like the most like prices of everything, you know? It's like, oh, fuck, this is really interesting. So they cost that much. And we don't actually know how much things cost because no one has done like a thorough calc. Because you get like fragments, like, oh, you know, like certain things cost that much. But if someone actually goes down at that time, sits down, and actually writes down what everything costs and how much money they have and income and so on, that is actually pretty useful. It's kind of funny that we look down upon that today when it's actually, you know, even in 100 years, it might be useful.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I feel like because the whole aggregating because I'm very surprised at how much information both my parents have about their family going back generations, right? Which I do not have the same knowledge, shall we say?
No. Although you don't be too afraid because from what from like I looked at what I know to be my grandmother's recollection. She like pronounces my name wrong and my brother's name wrong and all that stuff. So if you listen to old people, it's most likely that they are not talking bullshit, but they are not remembering right.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
oh yeah. Well, it's not because they actually do have my family actually does have archives about their own family. So I imagine that's like when they wrote it down, they knew what they were talking about. At least it's the closest thing to an accurate source that I have
Yeah.
that I
I
can
know my
trust.
father's place burned down in 2011, I think,
Yeah,
and
lots
I'm
of places
sure
burned
there's
down, which
records there that
sucks.
got destroyed or lost.
Oh yeah. The uncle that I mentioned became 98. Like we got a picture of him, like literally in his like incredibly old age, and that's pretty much how we know that he exists. That's how I know that he exists. So so it's like looking into the Twilight Zone and saying, well, if this guy supposedly looked like me, guess that's what I'll look like in 90 years. Less than that, but you know. Because it's actually like surprising how often you see physical features just like directly like translated from like one like relative to another. where it's like surprising how much alike some people can look. So did you actually get some useful information out of GNet?
Yeah, like I said, my I'll call it the wife, my great grandfather,
Yeah.
also known as my great grandmother, but it's more useful to think of it that way.
Yeah.
Someone here called Gunnar Landström has literally gone through and mapped out everything, but he's not actually directly related to her.
Right.
But he was nice to like put in all the dates, when she was married and so on. And actually,
what happened is that the inn
Mm-hmm.
that we're gonna call it now
is the sister was the one who originally built it, but she emigrated to America with her husband, and so my great grandmother took it over, great great grandmother, and that's where my dad come in, or great grandfather come in. Sorry. And they died in Minnesota. She in 1931, and he in 1911. And they don't say if they have any children.
All right. No, man, I'm full. I'm just gonna finish this breakfast later at some point. Christ. Can't eat that much food.
The real curse about doing this is I have like 15 front pages up because I like create a new one because otherwise I just can't even focus on what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
So like, oh, I might like this is an interesting way to explore this and so on.
Oh yeah. I know it's interesting because it's kind of a. On the one hand, I'm kind of like I'm kind of sad, that like I didn't care enough, I guess, about um, learning my family's history because I'm just not really that rooted in the past, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But what are you gonna do? Because I just think that like in like a few generations, because if I don't care, right, I'm like the from my direct family line, I'm like the only one, right? But there's like loads of like offshoots, right? Because both the I come from two large families. It's just I'm the only child of the two eldest of both families, if you know what I mean. So if I just don't give a shit and just like don't archive anything, I guess just my grandchildren that hypothetically don't exist are just gonna be like, so what were our parents? And then I'll just have some anecdotal shit where I'm like, I think pretty sure one of them was emperor of the universe, and
yeah. Thankfully, like for me, I think if my grandchildren, so
yeah,
usually you know who your grandfather is, because
yeah,
it's just four people.
yeah,
Grandparents, it's four people, and like if they know my name and Google it,
yeah,
pretty sure they can get, and if they know about the farm in Sweden or in Sweden, say, um, they will get onto the website that I got onto.
yeah,
They can, it's like right there. It's like the whole history that is relevant. You know what I mean? And then they can. Then it's probably like some program because like this gets better every year. Like people
yeah.
publish more and more of the archives every year. So
True.
what I'm doing now, I'm like, holy shit, this much available right now. It's like more than enough for me. But
True, and my family is massive, right? Like if I have the amount of cousins or well nephews that I have is immense. I have like at least in my direct family that I can think of, I have like maybe 17 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it is nuts. So hopefully at some point one of them cares enough to arrange it. And there is like even though I'm not like my last name is Tavari and not Courtmon, right? I do get invited to the Courtmon gathering, which is just a gathering of the like half German, half Dutch families called Courtmon that gather and play games at some like once every 2 years or something.
And do you ever go?
Yeah, I went once. Like a lot of times it's very far away, so I don't really like bother to go. But I might go like next time. But yeah, I went once and it was they're very nice. So because they actually like stayed somewhat in their area, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am ready to close that shit down. Gotta get that optimal gaming experience. Okay, preparing myself. Okay, gloves are off. Alright, I'm actually fucking ready now. Trying again.
I just tell you when you're in.
Connecting. But yeah, unfortunately, there's not really like any Courtmon or Chavari that like there's some that are doing like really well for themselves, but not ones that are like multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
I think unfortunately my parents are the ones that got the closest to that, and that fell apart. So that's a shame. But when one of them does, I'll be like, "Hey, cousin."
If I can get out of their woodwork, so.
Yeah, I imagine extended family just crawls out of the woodworks. It's like suddenly you realize that your family's massive as soon as you get rich, you know?
Yeah.
Blood is thicker than water, so it's harder to get out of the carpet and such. Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, yeah, I'm still in the war with fucking West Africa, which is, for all intents and purposes, this war that I'm doing right now is a massive failure. But I know this is all like the smallest violin compared to like the coalition that's fighting you know?
I can see it. Okay, that's really, yeah. I was like, I can see the map now. Is actually what I was gonna do. You've done quite well going down into Ethiopia. I see you're like beelining down to fucking.
Yeah, because there's also no point, because like it really is no point in taking all that Coptic territory, because it super destabilizes you now taking stuff that's a different religion. But yeah, no, like I lost fucking like 70,000 men in this war, which I really, or no, maybe that was the previous war. I don't actually remember. I actually have to like, I think my memory is starting to fail me already. Where I think I'm like the war before that was a disaster. This war is actually, I lost 50,000 men, which sounds a lot, but isn't actually too much. Like the wars in this game are like super fucking bloody. Like if like the Mamelukes really lost 50,000 men, like doing what they would consider like an insignificant war, I'm pretty sure their government would get fucking like cooped instantly.
Building. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
Very close to a government reform 4. How about you?
You know, I am fucking MLG Kyle. You want to know what I'm doing?
What?
I'm revoking land from the nobility, and
Yeah.
then revolts are rising rising up. The rebels are rising.
Oh right, yeah, and they're gonna like fight your dudes for you. Oh yeah, I like that strat. I love it. It was yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, just know you when you're ready.
I'm ready. Yeah, these guys are doing like the whole fucking 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a siege war against me, which is really interesting because they're just like, all right, we'll seize the desert whilst you seize everything else, I guess. Yeah, I have Granary of the Mediterranean, so I guess my unfortunately it doesn't like stack, if you know what I mean. Actually, maybe it does. Goods produced efficiency. Yeah, so Granary of the Mediterranean means that that's very good. I wonder if I can change like that resource by event or something to like cotton. That'd be really cool if I could.
Damn. Okay.
I'd say just I think the best chance you have, unless do you think you can actually fight this?
I mean, I wasn't gonna try. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like, how many men do you have to spare?
0, I think.
Yeah, so
So
like, I don't think it's a weak question. But actually, they don't want too much. I don't even have to give away everything. I just
yeah, no,
give
no, no.
away,
Like that's what I was like thinking. Like just the best thing for you is to just get a truce with France and then maybe try and befriend them or something after you.
no, they will not befriend me. But yeah. Actually, I could make peace right now.
Because I think they don't even want any Wallocian territory. I don't think. Oh, they do actually.
Yeah, but they will take Picardy. They will take everything in Burgundy. They will do that.
Yeah. Which is kind of like, I mean, is that even really bad for you? Because let's be real here, at the situation that you're currently in, it's not really like that. You can't really do much with that with like all your enemies surrounding that land, you know?
I think I'll just take more peace because I think I need that.
Yeah. There we go.
But it's fucking stupid making the nobles rise up there because I have to fight them. But oh well.
Yep, and you still have the chorus, which is always good, and you've got that sweet, sweet revanchism now.
Oh, where is that measured actually?
Government, I think, or it's either government or military. I honestly don't really. I never really end up with a lot of revanchism in my games.
Well, I don't either. But this is a special game.
Yeah.
So, did I convert already? Okay, I did. So why you're 58% liberty design? Oh, because I'm negative percent. Oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna lose this. How old is my guy? 32. Okay, he might survive. All things considered.
Okay. I'm very much paying attention to what like the areas are of like places now. Like sometimes I can like follow them, but sometimes I'm just like, you know what? Like I'm not gonna go super insane for like an area. Sorry, was that? Um, I was gonna take a lot more coastline, but I'm always just a fan of money. So my new war philosophy is Jesus Christ is just
Sneezing.
sneezing. My new military policy revolves around violently sneezing, which it's gonna not gonna stop because I think there's like some spices or something fucking went up my nose. So it's gonna be I'm gonna be sneezing for a little bit, but yeah, no, because I previously I was like very much like a little bit less so like the longer I played, but like it's definitely in the first in the sub 1,000 hours of this game, I was very much like, okay, land is just grab as much land as you can, really, which was a
Yeah.
horrendous idea most of the time because you just kind of like you spend like like more resources like on getting the people to surrender to that point, and then you spend more resources on trying to keep that land, you know.
Mm. Okay, I have a choice between the clergy, the nobles, or I guess the burghers.
Delicious, delicious burgers.
So what does it say? Administrative free policies. Is that the admin points it costs to maintain?
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah, like it means that you get like you know how policies work. It just means that you get like an additional free policy, so you get to have 2 free policies out of 3.
Is that super strong? I imagine, or
It depends on how good your policies are. It can be incredibly strong. I'd say it's pretty fucking strong.
well, I guess it's like between it and the burgers, you know, which is advisor cost -10, which I think is more relevant than fucking leader cost -10.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Advisors, you know, pretty.
Oh, that sweet leader cost -10. Let me tell you. Like a better dude. Oh, Markets of Cairo. Oh, where is this place? The city of Cairo. I don't really care about development cost. Technology cost reduction does sound pretty nice. Sorry, that was just an interesting event that I didn't want to like. Didn't want to like choose under duress. unfortunately, the fucking era of my like incredible diplomatic supremacy is ended. Like with my super diplo ruler dying and all the advisors pertaining to that also dying, which is a little bit of a shame.
So, Fort Zone Control, does that go across a what's it called, a land bridge?
I think so, yeah. When I fought the Ottomans, it definitely felt like it did. It's just crazy. Inactive government reform. Just kind of set on taking that one, so choose the administrative clergy. I think the next one, tier 5, I might take General Estates for the 10% production efficiency.
Hmm.
Deciding which of my generals is the worst. I think it's this guy. Can finally colonize the peaceful lands of Africa with its incredibly aggressive natives.
point Norway is declaring war for independence, but Sweden is not? What the fuck?
You're right, that's interesting. Finally, I get to convert the the Red Sea area to Egyptian.
Ah, yes.
It's a very slow process, this cultural enrichment of the filthy African savages, but you know. And all my advisors just they died in like a big wave, which is pretty impressive. Let's actually look at the fucking Age of Reformation. I don't think as the Mamluks I ever get anything special, do I?
No, I don't think so.
Gonna have a hard time getting actually let's see what the chances are of getting something. Oh, sweet livestock, yeah. Okay, incense. Finding each other. I have to say the little Arabian countries are doing a nice job developing Arabia. Yeah, like Hadramut, for example, they've developed their capital 10 times. Aden has developed it 2 times, but granted they were also at war with me, so they probably didn't really, they had different priorities. Taiz has been developed 0 times. But yeah, no, like I'm just, like, this is the way I consider permanent claims, is just claim whenever you feel like, man. Because, like, there's really not a super strong incentive for me to, like, attack these guys on the double, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And especially considering I can most likely just acquire them through diplomatic means, so it's a very interesting game where rather than pursue the Bedouins, I just ally with them. I'm like, all right. The Bedouins. I can have my first free policy. Oh, baby. Fucking income from vassals, even more. So, how much of their. They pay me 61% of their tax income.
Who does?
My vassals.
Everyone. Oh yeah.
Yeah. To the point where they stop becoming independent nations and they just become areas that I tax.
Oh my god.
I'm sparing no expense for a long time. They're not religiously converting places. Nothing says welcome to my empire like getting religiously converted. I've got 4 missionaries now, thanks to a whole bunch of shit. Defender of the Faith, Holy City. Yeah, all cool. I'm just stating these Ethiopian areas just so that I can convert. I can pray the Coptic away. I feel like doing so is kind of integral towards maintaining a stable realm. We're not in the age of absolutism yet, so I can just raise autonomy as much as I want.
will decrease your government score.
Oh
This will
no.
reform progress. Sorry,
Yeah.
fuck.
Not my reform progress. So completed 2 idea groups. Unfortunately, like the policy isn't as insane as the other one is. Kind of regret not taking offensive now, but this has been like it's a subtle boost to my economy. Whereas offensive would just mean that my military would be much more effective. Oh well, at least I got the innovativeness for this one, which I'm not sure I would have gotten from the other one.
I'm so fucking far behind on tech or ideas. Like I've not been able to complete my start even. Fuck.
Well,
Start of my set. It's not good times over here, but
it's a good time for Philip of Hesse, who got elected, I guess.
he keeps getting elected. It's like the only thing that really saves my campaign right now is that the fucking emperor is a joke. Because I would not be able to do a shit without him being fucking the wimp that he is. I like if he hadn't been elected and the situation was, I would just been like, okay, I would call it now. I can't play this game. It's like, I can't do anything. Gives me to phrase it well a chance in hell.
Guess I'll just get some corruption then.
Ah yes, finally, Curtin has jumped on the boat. They have attacked them. Attacked the Hellraid.
Jesus. Yeah, Gelre.
Might as well pronounce it the way they used to do.
Oh, looks like there's some revolts somewhere. You know, this is in the Knights would fucking accept vassalization. The Knights would be like, yeah, we'll join you, Mamelukes. There's no way in hell I'm gonna do that though, but you know.
Fuck, suddenly everyone and their fucking mother is. Oh, they're gonna chase me.
Supply limit 21, even in a desert. Oh yeah. How is that their colonialism doing? Looks like it's still only Spain that has it. Feels bad. I need to make a mental note that I should probably just spawn colonialism in my empire.
Yeah. Might be a bit tricky to get. Yes.
Really should have just taken offensive ideas as opposed to what I've done right now, but I guess I'll take offensive ideas as my third idea group, I guess. But you know, I feel like it would have always been like that. Where if even if it took offensive, I might have just been like, probably should have taken expansion ideas for the increased economy.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at my world, basically.
Fucking indecision. Hadramut is like, even though I don't dislike you, Mamluks, I'm just gonna fight for the independence of this one province minor. And I'm like, Hadramut, why? Hadramut, please. And they're like, I'm sorry, I am honor bound. Actually got Mamluk noble rebels because the Amirs are disloyal. Is there a way to like please them? Not really. Yeah, intricate web weaver, that's nice. Oh, I might have to like do something early because I pissed off the Amirs and they're a little bit incredibly powerful in my realm. Just a little bit. Turns out pissing them off was not a fantastic idea. But I know how to get them a little bit more loyal. Or is it really that little that they care about that? Really? Okay then. Wow. Oh. Shit. I'm effectively trying to prevent like mass rebellion at the moment. Could I interest you in some desert, sir? Well, I hope I enjoyed getting all those government reforms, because I feel like I won't be getting a lot more of them, given how much of my land I'm doling out to the Amirs at the moment.
Yeah.
But I kind of brought it upon myself. I was like, estates are meant to be exploited, and then bad things. Alright, here's hoping that this makes them no longer that unhappy. Yeah, there we go. They've stopped being unhappy. Oh, thank God. Fuck me. Guess I can't just piss them off. Who would have guessed? Yeah, they now control like they control 42% of my development. So that might need to be addressed at some point. The very I guess aristocratic nature of my country might be my undoing.
It's like almost like, you know, this game has now become choices, the game.
No, yeah.
Like, you know, you actually like, you know, should I go for an estate and get the admin points from them, or should I go and do something else and maybe actually get some other points some other where, you know?
Yeah.
It's no longer like no-brainers, which I
Yeah.
think I can appreciate.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But I'm pretty sure there will be like, you know, a solution to this, but
Gotta remember that I'm trying to spawn colonialism in a place with a little crocodile. Alright guys, I got the perfect idea for the next expansion. Animals that move across the map.
animal herds, and they'll give like a bonus to
Oh yeah. Like goods produced or something. If you're a Native American, you can see like loads of buffalo on your screen and you have to like migrate to follow them to get all the bonuses. I think that would actually be pretty funny.
It would be funny as like a mod sort of thing, but oh my god.
As like an April Fool's DLC, that'd be pretty good. Oh, thank God, the fucking war is over. Do I have any claims on these bastards? I do. Literally claim their capital that they improved 10 times. How about that? No, I don't think I will. I mean, I might. I think overextension is not really what I like to do. mean, I think if it just take their capital, they'll move their capital elsewhere and start developing that. It's a genius idea. Yeah, right. And then the other war needs to be finished. Fortunately, the nice thing about so I guess choosing a meme ass religion is no longer very viable because well it is if you just keep yourself small, but it isn't if you want to spread out like a cancer, you know?
Yeah. Although they have said they will change the religion thing.
Oh really? Oh.
Or they're looking into it, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a fuck ton of people is complaining we don't really know what to do.
Yeah.
Or we don't really, but we're gonna maybe do something if it's
We might do something. If the complaining still we'll check back in 2 months, and if the forums are still complaining about that, we might do something. But I don't really see who the fuck would be complaining about this. I mean, I can't I don't even get it. I mean, I've done a fucking world conquest, right? It's really fucking shit. It's really boring. You just want to when you're declaring war on 7 million fronts for every little tiny African nation or whatever the fuck, you want to just kill yourself. You're you stack wipe those African troops and you're like, man, boy, I wish that was me. Hey, I actually annexed some territory that's worth a damn now. Hijaz. Okay. Mecca. Literally uh the state that's probably my most valuable now. No, not quite. It is definitely up there though. And that should hopefully have made my trade a lot better. getting a whole bunch of new alliance offers, I guess. On account of me being quote unquote available. Can be asked trying to find somebody to sell to. To sell my ships to. God, being over your fleet force limit really doesn't matter too much, does it? God, you pay so much for like an army. Like my army costs so much money.
Yeah, the galleys are really cheap to go force the with. That's
I forgot how fucking expensive it is to just have a military, you know?
Bullshit that I lost that for. Yeah.
bad, I suppose. I can convert the Emperor to Protestant, but I'm not going to because I would be fucking stupid.
What would happen for you then if you did that?
If there was someone else would become Emperor.
Oh, right.
I think Austria? That would be bad. Real bad.
I can imagine.
Oh, there you go. Austria is now in the Emperor.
I imagine that's no good.
No, it's not very good. Ah, yes, finally France is at war with Savoy, Aragon, and Austria.
That's pretty good.
Provence has left their fucking buddy with France as well.
It looks like.
Their allies is like, you know, it's not like they're too strong. It's just that I'm not gonna go to war right now. You know what I mean?
No. Well, Aragon is attacking the knights. Goodbye, knights, I guess. Wow, the fact that I'm the second greatest power in the world is like kind of a joke because I'm such a paper tiger. Like, sure, I have like probably a lot of forces on the ground, but they don't really. Yeah, I've got more troops than France. I've got 69,000 soldiers. That's pretty impressive, just for that number alone. But yeah, no. Almost got 666 development. That's pretty good.
I lost development. If it's the only way to put it.
Yeah. I waited too long with this war and lost like all my claims that I built up over the course of like a million years. But it's fine, I'll just get my one claim and then go. I think also all my military leaders have decided. Yeah, literally all of them missed. I guess it makes sense because I think I hired them in like around about like in like waves, but they all just like died at the same time. I'm like, oh come on. waited like super long to attack these guys, which I guess is pretty bad. Like they had military tech 7, now they have military tech 8. So there that goes. Nope. I waited so long that their allies are no longer interested in fighting me, so I guess that is something. Oops. It's actually kind of worth getting spending military power on leaders now because the professionalism that you get from it.
Oh yeah.
I'm almost at 20% professionalism. I've not drilled once, you know. gonna use my special magic ability that makes powers cheaper for a little bit. Cotton, everything like that. That has a lot of minuses. There you go. I spawned colonialism in my empire.
Good. Good that it's.
Not even in a coastal province, but you know. Colonizing Africa in this new system seems very not wise, shall we say? But for experimentation, you know.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Like I also just foresee me keeping Ethiopia where it is. Like I don't think my borders with Ethiopia are gonna change much, really. Like I'm not gonna go all the way into their territory for that gold. Seems like it'd do me way more harm than it'd do me good.
What about vassals? Like that seems like the obvious solution to this problem, you know?
Yeah, I might vassalize them at some point or something, or get like a sunny vassal to go over there and deal with it. And that's like you can tell that I have a couple of pets, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been kind of using them, and they're also very effective. Like it works on like multiple levels in the sense that it also works because I'm like a trade country, right? So obviously the vassals are more centralized than I am, so they get more goods produced in an area, and then I just steer that trade towards myself. So I tax them like 62%, and then I also take away their trade. It's a really good deal being a vassal. It's kind of shit because they can't like even Dulkadir, who by all for all intents and purposes should be able to like field a decent army, can only field like one regiment because of the fucking strong taxation. It's okay, I guess, because at the end of the day, I suppose I'd rather have that tax go to me so that I can build the extra soldier, and then I can deal with it myself, you know?
I mean, you don't want strong vassals. Almost.
Yeah, I suppose that is true as well. Like their liberty desire will be very low, because they just have like no army. So I feel like in previous versions of this game, I would have, as the Mamelukes, conquered way more land already. But I guess that's just the way this version is right now. Because just to get like the trade going, so I can really see how like you can't just be like, I'll solve this trade issue by just conquering everybody in this trade node. I mean, you could, but then you would have like nowhere else to conquer, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Can't conquer your way out of this one.
Nope, not really. Yeah, I have to say I really, really, really like this. And Korea has actually developed itself a lot. Uh, and so has Alodia. But yeah, I really like this because it means that suddenly indirect means of acquiring wealth become more prominent. Like, right? So the Makuria and Alodia, I have no real interest in conquering that territory myself unless they really start super developing it like they have been. But I still do want the trade from there, so I just make sure that my trade power is very high so that I effectively take their goods produced away from them. And that's the way I deal with it, you know? So there's actual incentive to keep people alive in trade zones now. I suppose there always was to a certain degree, but for Poland. Pomerania is looking good. Hey, you're the Netherlands.
That I am.
Congratulations.
I actually still keep my cores.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess. It would be a little bit bullshit if you lost your cores.
Not really, considering those are Burgundy scores.
I know, but like, let's say you're playing like Burgundy, right? And you've like expanded into Germany or something, and then suddenly you like just lose cores that are outside of your quote unquote like de jure, if you know what I mean.
No, you only lose. You would only lose it
If they weren't like, if you didn't control it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see how that would be a little bullshit, if you know what I mean.
No, because this is like the alternative way to get to the Netherlands. It's I don't know. Like,
I get what you're saying from like a common sense perspective, but from like a gameplay perspective, I can see how that could be very annoying.
No, because this is like literally like if you want to beat the Netherlands and get their ideas and shit,
You have to lose those cores.
you have to lose the land in France. You know.
Oh right, okay. Then in that case, then I thought you could also keep the land there.
No,
Oh,
really,
okay.
that's the deal. You give it away. That's why I was like so careless. But I was like, I don't care about losing this because I already.
Yeah,
Definitely
you've
lose
already
the
decided.
later.
You've already decided what your path in life will be, and it'll be the path of the hard G's.
Yeah, because I wanted to keep my land, I would not go to Netherlands.
Yeah.
That's
have to like, I kind of want like 100% peace deal on Kara Kunliu. Because yeah, that's an interesting thing about like Kara Kunliu is they are a paper tiger, but they hold very good development land. If you know what I mean, they hold Baghdad
Yeah,
and all that
that's,
shit. So
the hordes from the Zagros Mountains.
the what?
The Zagros Mountains. That's like the mountains in Iraq there.
All right. Also known as the Black Gates, from which the horseman cometh.
Basically,
666 the cuts, easy. I'm losing so much money. Like, I guess it's because I have a level 3, a level 2, and a level 1 advisor, but you need to dominate trade more. Yeah, just never exploit the Amirs for military power, because having them not on side is so bad. It costs me so much money, because they like the fucking 20% reduced like land maintenance. Boy, you really feel that when your fucking army costs like 25 ducats to maintain.
it's basically. No, it's even better than war taxes actually.
Yeah, it is better than war taxes, and it's like on all the time, so it's just no point in like I really shouldn't have I shouldn't in the future do that. And oh my god, stop getting like I mean sure, why not? Okay. I like prestige. At 100 prestige now. So prestigious. Much wow. There you fucking look at how many permanent claims fucking Hungary has.
Oh yeah, they get like. Actually, that's not even all they get. They get even more.
Okay.
Get back again.
Welcome back. Trying to return these core provinces in a way that doesn't like cause excruciating border gore. Oh, that's pretty satisfying. There we go. That was a very non-border gore war. Didn't take the whole Iraq-Arabi place simply because when I form Arabia, I'll get claims on it all, and also I don't want to annex too much Shia territory at once.
Yeah. I can't really see what you're annexing. Or I can say Baghdad actually.
Yeah, I conquered up to annexed up to Baghdad pretty much, and then I gave my vassal. I returned cores to my vassal.
She.
Because we're getting close to Admin Tech 10. I'm sure some fucking countries already have it. Cheating bastards. But, yeah, so. Forming Arabia would be nice. sad that I consider like our innovativeness is decreasing, my lord. Well, colonialism should spread and eventually it shouldn't cost like an arm and a fucking leg to do. Yes, legalism now. Forgot to take the province I've got a permanent claim on. No, well. It's not like a claim's going anywhere, so that's fine. It's a nice thing about doing shit like that. Oh my god, they all... Oh, wow. Thanks, game. Fuck this game. Oh, I just took like a million attrition because I'm pretty sure I fucking told my guys to like spread out and go to their respective places, but instead they all decided to stand on one place and take like 5% attrition for a long time.
Oh, well, that's always fun.
Yeah.
I don't really have that problem because I don't have to become an army.
Yeah, and you also don't have like deserts or whatever that fucking people go into. Yeah, no, it's great. It's like I was like wondering how the fuck I was losing so much money, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm paying the fucking reinforcement costs for their fucking idiocy. England is a golden era. Hungary is Hungarian conquest of Bosnia against the Ottomans. Sure. Guess I'm fighting the Ottomans now.
Oh shit, yeah.
And the Hungarians, they called me in. I don't know. It's fine. Like I can always use a little beating up of the Ottomans. Though I better like set myself some provinces of interest. An ally in the war has already claimed it a vital interest. Who the fuck? Like, has Hungary literally like? Oh no, my subject Dolkadir has claimed it. That's fine, a vital interest. Because I was about to say like, how the fuck like has Hungary literally been like, yeah, all of Anatolia. That's of vital interest to me, and I'm like, fucking what? But no, my subject is has claimed shit of vital interest. I don't know how much my allies respect that, but we'll see. Of course, the AI like it doesn't attack Hungary; they attack me. Even though I'm the fucking like secondary party in this war, not the primary one.
Austria is joining in with them as well.
Yeah, they got condottieri, or gave condottieri to them.
Oh, they actually offered to spread colonialism to me, which is nice.
Check mine. Just gonna embrace colonialism so I can get military tech 10, you know? Before the Ottomans do. Looks like Hungary is paying off in the long run as an ally, I guess. Depends though, they might like just fuck me in the peace deal and give me like nothing.
Taking back my lands.
I really hope the AI like respects subject strategic interest, if you know what I mean. Because if not, I'm gonna be pretty upset. Where it's like, oh yeah, thanks, Mamluks, but it didn't look like you wanted anything from this war, so we're just not gonna give you some money, all right?
It would be pretty funny, wouldn't it?
Pretty tragic. Like the Ottomans, that's like fucking love. Charmy over there. He's an excellent general. Let's see if I can start a fight without that guy getting involved. Well, I'm just gonna switch out a unit real quick, I guess. It's only cavalry. Okay, that's fine. And it's the artillery. Fucking now we're playing silly buggers with their military. Don't make it on time, Ottomans. You better not make it on time. There we go. Even though military tech ahead, they just have like such a good fucking general. Military tech ahead almost double the soldiers, but I imagine they're gonna have such a good general. They still win? Oh no, they retreated. Okay. Whew, thank God. Thank God. Need to take Ankara, otherwise this war is never gonna end.
Oh, funny. I fucking dreamed them. Yeah.
Iraqi separatists. Guess I don't have the admin points. Rip. Could really do with like an extra army at the moment.
Yeah, me too. Okay, what the fuck is this? Are you not at war with fucking France? Why are you fucking invading me? Fucking bastard.
Hey man, this is like what like it's the AI has like some fucking bullshit where they will just go against the player in the war no matter what. Like they just don't give a shit. Like, look at this fucking crap, right? Like, the Hungarians are just invading them uncontested. Like, they do not want to fight the Hungarians whatsoever. They're just like, no, we're fighting the Mamluks now. Like, I'm just a secondary partner in this war. I didn't even fucking start this war. They should be going after the person that starts the war, not after the fucking whoever they want at this point. Like, yeah, no, we're just gonna go after the player. No problem. Feels bad.
I mean, I don't know. I guess. Oh, actually, okay, I was gonna say, like, does fucking still only have like 10k troops, but like, you know, they have more. They're spread out.
I have to really. Sad state of affairs. You can't afford can't really afford advisors and military at the same time. Could you like fuck off and defend? Okay, like they're actually sending like a single army, or maybe they're not even doing that. But I'm like really hoping that the Ottomans just at some point decide that hey, maybe we should use our military to defend our lands in like Greece as opposed to going for me. Maybe it's like a grudge match or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Fucking Paradox, first company to develop self-aware strategic AI. Or they're like, no, fuck you. I remember what you did last war. I mean, Baghdad's seen better days.
I think they represent the fact they got fucking looted the shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I absolutely understand why things are the way they are in Baghdad at the moment. I have 5 cannons in my whole military. And not a single good general.
Oh, well, I guess Spain gets all that money. Okay, whatever. Makes sense. I guess they did do more than me right now.
Unfortunately, it ain't actually very hard for my guys to pray away the Shia. Oh. Guess my boats got attacked.
Oh, that's Ferrara. Oh my god. That's even worse in a way. Ferrara, you wouldn't per se mind the, besieging the fucking Rethalois for me so I can take it, no?
I am making some money again. At the cost of 5 discipline, but there you go.
Hey, Mario, we at the war with the Netherlands now. What should we do? Let's not attack France. Go straight up to Netherlands and get stuck right. See?
Mario is like, I hear the Netherlands has a very social government, so let's go up to there. Sad part is they're actually they're actually becoming less and less social, which is bad.
It's just helpful for business, let's say.
Oh yeah. They've yet to find a way to use the elderly as a resource, like coal or something. See if we can make like a generator that runs on old people.
Time will come. If I win this war, I'll get territories that I never held.
Oh my god.
I have claims on them, but
Hey, because you get claims on permanent claims on a relatively small region as the Netherlands, not exactly
You get more, but it's like I already conquered everything except
Yeah.
Belgrade. Because I got Friesland because Ostfriesland kept it, held it, and then I conquered that.
Oh my god, Constantinople has 44 development. Holy shit. That is a hell of a province. You better give me fucking shit, because I've got 73% of the war contribution in this war. Oh wow, the price of incense went down thanks to your fucking Protestant bastards.
Well,
I hope you're happy.
quite happy. Thank you.
You're gonna colonize the New World. I mean, I don't think it's too late to do that. Should I put it like this? No, Korea is the seventh great power. Great power.
Are they?
Yep.
Signal.
Alright. Did you mean to pause the game? Because it's not paused.
The war ended. And they took one province. Yay!
I get shit back.
The Ottomans are fucking sending their spite force over to my thing. Or to my country. Gotta go and deal with them. Hopefully the Hungarians won't like fuck about and they'll actually make peace at some point. It would be nice.
What the fuck? I'm. Wow, that is fucking. Why am I?
What?
Yeah,
What?
the fucking game has blocked me. I can't retreat. Or
What?
this is like this is a fucking bug I hate. It's like. So, like, I moved into Siege of Fort. I detached an army to, like, go siege another fort, and now that army is can't move anywhere, even not even back where it came from. And there's, I don't know, just doesn't work, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Fort mechanics are sometimes a little bit like it's hard to understand how, cause like I think sometimes they like raise their forts, or that's like the only. Oh, peace. What happened? Who got what? I got 50 favors from them, and what else did I get? I got power projection. Ottomans will see to Hungary. I literally got nothing. Thanks, Hungary. I got no lands from that. Just power projection, which I guess is nice. Didn't lose too much in that war either, so I mean it's not like I didn't lose too much manpower, didn't gain too much devastation, so but I'm no longer like on the I'm no longer willing to join offensive wars with Hungary because given I have fucking like 80 favors with them, you know. That's not really ideal. Okay, maybe retreat there.
Of course, also another reason why I wanted to move my guys off of there was because I was gonna take attrition.
Yeah.
And yeah, didn't get to do either, I guess. Actually, I didn't take attrition. I only took siege attrition, I guess,
Which is nice.
which is just what it is. I really hate like there should be like a independence supported by X should only last like say 10 years or whatever. Because like now I will never be able to integrate fucking Flanders because they're getting supported by England, and that means they're like super strong
Yeah.
according to themselves.
The pulls are out. Well, the pulls are in, I guess. Turns out we're really tough. Could vassalize Aden. Do they have any allies? They have an ally in Ethiopia. God, the fucking Africa bloc. Like, I'm just gonna call them the West Africa fucking Confederation over here with Ethiopia, Alodia, and Makuria. They've been enjoying decades of peace thanks to me coming in to unite them all against a single enemy.
They don't even know they're in West Africa.
Yeah. They are developing their capitals quite a bit. So I mean that's something. The Coptic Union over there. Oh, those guys. Yes. I'm kind of waiting because there was like loads of rebels happening in Arabia, so I'm kind of waiting to do my bullshit over there. There's always problems with the Coptics. Always, always, always. That Coptic area serves as a reminder to why like I made an excellent decision to like leave the rest of them alone.
Oh, welcome home, Barwa. And Vrijhaaft.
What? Sorry, we're Vrij Graafschap. Which oh fuck, I forgot what like graaf. Well, yeah, like I think a graaf is a count. I think.
If you don't speak Norwegian, that's roughly how you pronounce it.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I guess it's like it's free county then.
It's a free county. production again. Yay! Things are coming up, Millhouse.
Oh yeah.
Who should I rival? I mean, England is like, yeah, I'm never gonna be friends with England, I think. It's either them or Austria. Or Denmark, actually, is another alternative.
Well, I just repaid my debt, and now I have 14 ducats. Like my loans came due, and I was like, yeah, I'm looking good. I've got money. I've got a lot of things. You know, everything's good. And then it's like, oh, your debt called, and I guess you're poor now again. This is what it's like being a student in America, I guess.
Your debt called. Yeah.